need to drink more beer. I think that's what's fueling this is you're just milking the beer.
The internet is fueled by beer. So if you keep drinking and talking, we won't lose service.
Yeah, that's gonna go well. It just like dribbles down and be like, damn.
But you're talking about how you had this front row seat to service members coming through, sharing their story. At what point did you realize you have this artistic gift where you can translate their stories and share it through this visual medium?
Well, at first I was actually super hesitant to even show anybody because I thought people were going to think I was weird. They're like, like I'm a civilian. My dad was military, and then we grew up around the world. And then my job just kind of kept me around the community. And so I was like, oh, I don't know if it's going to be received well. So I threw some up in the bar just kind of to see what happens. And it was fucking wild to see people just stand there and be like, who the fuck did this shit? And I was like, me? Sorry. And they're like, this is fucking rad. And I was like, okay. And then when I left and came stateside, I just kind of kept doing it and posting it, and more people were like, fuck yeah, man, this is the shit. And I was like, okay, cool. And then just the responses that we've gotten from people where they're like, I feel like I can revisit something and it's amazing, or I feel like I can like let something out and it's beautiful, or I feel like somebody gets it, I can just show them a picture and be like, here you go, this is what's fucking going on, so it's been a cool experience.
And when did you start going by Invader Girl?
By accident. So when I first started the Instagram page, I had no idea what a handle was, so it was like a butchered version of my email, and people just kept saying Invader Girl, and I was like, okay, I guess that's my name now. So I just changed it real quick. It was like, I'm Invader Girl. Ta-da.
It just sticks.
It's an awesome name. I mean, I guess that you stumbled upon that is super cool. I feel like it's a great branding title.
It's like any nickname. You can't pick it. It's going to be given to you. I'm sure
that's
both
true.
of you have one.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, what makes it so unique is that I have one of your paintings from 2000 or 21, and it was the thick of COVID. I was just starting my business. I was like, this would be a great business expense. I'm gonna get office artwork. I didn't even think I looked at how big it was. I think it was just like, oh, that's a cool picture. I saw it on LinkedIn. My buddy Jason Guanco, I think, commented on one of your LinkedIn posts when you're first really getting ramped up. I'm like, that speaks to me. I'm gonna buy that. And now it just hangs in my office, and people constantly, when I'm on a call with them, they're like, is that Invader Girl behind you? It's just become like this ubiquitous name within the soft community of art that really describes how we lived and things we've experienced.
Yeah, and hopefully it serves as a reminder too, like, hey man, just because you hung up the fucking uniform, like, that's not over. Like, that radness that you got to experience way out there, like, take that and go further. And then everybody you run along on the way, like, teach them fucking something and push them further. Like, it's amazing what you guys have experienced and learned. Bring that back, teach it to the rest of us fucking idiots, and guess what? We could probably push humanity to the next level of epic, and we solve all the world problems in like no time.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. It's just my take, but what do I know? Crazy artists, right?
Yeah, but crazy artists have a great way of viewing the world that's so unique, and it gives it's like viewing the eyes through or viewing the world through the eyes of a child. Everything is so fresh and raw. There's no censorship. There's no editing to it. It's like, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I think. And you're like, man, that you can't say that in public.
Mommy, that person is huge.
Well, my wife had one when she was a kid. She kept asking why that lady has a mustache, and it was at a grocery checkout line. It was the lady, scanning all the things on the line. So you're stuck there. You have a whole slew of groceries on the conveyor belt, and this little 3-year-old keeps going, "Mommy, but why does she have a mustache?" And you can just see like the laser beam eye contact between the two adults. And it's like, I want to die right now.
My little sister used to go up to people that smoked, and she'd be like, "You're gonna die," and that was like that's she's like 13 3 or 4 years old, and like that's all she says, like you're gonna die.
Hopefully, she would
Okay.
come like bouncing up wearing a tutu, like
Yeah.
you're gonna die.
Yeah,
then skip
that's
away.
pretty much what it was.
Do you see like the shadow of the Grim Reaper behind her, and she's just fucking off, and you're like, what the hell?
I feel like that would be
that'd
a
be a
great
cool.
piece
That
of
would
art
be a
for
really.
you.
I was about to say that would be a really cool painting.
It's happening. Watch out.
A
Go
little
make a
girl
fucking
in a
note of that.
tutu with a Grim Reaper shadow coming out the bottom.
I'm totally gonna make a note of this now. All right.
And you can just
Tutu,
call it
little
the
girl.
Team Guy curse, because we all have, well, a lot of my daughters. Greg and I have all sons, which
All
he
sons.
calls
Lucky.
feral human beings.
Is it? Because I've heard that. Well, I don't know. So the way that I look at it with like little girls is that like I would way rather have a little girl. Okay, this is hypothetical speaking. I love my kids.
Have you
but I
met
would wait.
women?
There's a button. I
Yes.
was waiting for him, like, when's he going to put the button
Oh,
there? I love my kids. but-
I love my kids, but I've heard that little girls are easier. But my other but is that I would not be a good teenage daughter dad. Like it would just be bad. It would be bad. I would not be like cool. I would be like not collected at all. I'd be like, I'd be that
Fucking
typical dad that's like,
shotgun.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it would be like. So there's that.
What?
Some adolescent boy is going to be lucky in a few years because I don't have a girl. So
Poor bastard.
poor bastards.
Well, it's funny
Well,
how it's
do you-
always the daughter curse. Like I was a communication officer in the Marine Corps, and we dealt with satellites and stuff like that. And they're always saying, "Oh yeah, the satellite Marines, they always have girls because they're around the radiation from the satellites." And in the SEAL teams, they're like, "Oh, everyone has daughters because we have so much testosterone or whatever from the explosives that we breathe in, like whatever people can think of." There's always a reason why you have girls. Boys are just like, "Oh yeah, it's just what you have." There is
Like,
no
it's
boy curse.
fine.
Yeah, you got boys. You're good.
Well, my husband's got two. He got a girl and a boy, so he got the best of both worlds.
There you go.
That's what we're hoping for. We have a 2-month-old at home, and we'll see what number 2 comes along with. He's super chill
Right
for
now.
now.
Yeah. Don't let that lull you to sleep there, big guy.
I tell people
'Cause-
all the time, like he's luring us into that false sense of security.
Yeah.
Just waiting for
Big
that
time.
ambush.
He's just like timing it, waiting. It's coming. Don't worry. 16 steals the car, drives it through the living room. Normal shit.
So with your with your commissions, you said you have like 3 of them that are going on at a time. Do you just have people constantly reaching out saying, "Can you do this?" Or are you trying to just put your ideas on paper and then you advertise them and see who buys
That's
them?
gonna be my question.
So usually, so like on Instagram right now, I have the commissions closed because just the influx of requests is like through the fucking roof. So we're trying to curve it a little bit, and just get through the list that we have right now. But usually it's people will reach out and they're like, "Hey, I have this idea," or "I saw this," or just through regular conversation, and then just be like, "Oh fuck yeah, I could put a piece up or something." So like we've been doing a lot of corporate pieces right now. Which are bigger pieces, and like it just takes more time. So just trying to get those all done and ready and out the door, versus like a smaller piece. I can do those quicker, but hopefully in like a few months or so, we're kind of like through that, and then can open it back up again to everybody.
So is this like businesses wanting it for their conference room?
Yeah, for the Zoom calls are way more entertaining with some art in the back.
I
Or
couldn't
even
agree
just
more.
for like their entrance ways too. Like we were up in Pennsylvania dropping some pieces off, and they have it for when their clients come through. It's like bam, right there. Check us out. So
Once we get big and we have millions of subscribers and we have our own studio, we'll have to get a big ass Invader Girl to be either in the entry hall for
Multiple.
the guests to see, or to be prominently displayed in the background of the studio someplace.
fuck yeah, let's do it. I'm in. Let me know.
That'd be cool. We should. I obviously I'm like the odd man out right now, and I feel a little. I feel a little vulnerable,
you're out of the
guys,
US?
because I don't. Well, no. Well, that no, but I don't
Virtual
have an
hug.
Invader Girl piece of artwork.
That's true.
So
Fired again.
yes, fired again for the second time today. Probably not the last today. But yeah, I need. That's going to be on my to do list, is get an Invader Girl piece of art.
I would wait till like November 11th. That's usually when we run our 1 year, like just big fucking blowout sale. It's a good time to pick up art.
Okay, done
There
deal.
you have it. November
Set
11th
it on
on
the
the
calendar.
Invader Girl Instagram.
Yeah, unless you see something like you're like, fuck yeah, I need to have that, then get it, because
Which
sometimes
was that
pieces
one?
go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool though. If it fucking speaks to you, like, I get a lot of messages from guys, and they're like, they'll just write a few lines. They're like, I hate art. I see yours. I love art. Thank you. I'm like, hell yeah, man.
You're a poet. I see you are a
Fucking
deep
haiku.
individual.
Do you get many people reaching out to you for like tattoo designs?
They do. So I haven't done them for a long time now, just because I don't have the paper, pen, pencil shading, and I'm gonna feel bad confessing this, but I feel like an asshole designing the piece when the tattoo artist is also an artist. If you like a style or something, like talk to your artist and be like, "Hey
Yeah.
man, can you do something like this?" But let them draw it, let them design it, because that's the person that's gotta fucking put it on your skin. So you should probably be talking to them,
Yeah.
I
No.
did get to meet a guy that actually has one of the pieces on his arm. Ran into him randomly at a restaurant. This dude comes up and he's like, just curious, are you Invader Girl?" And I was like, "Yeah, who the fuck are you?" Like, I've never met this guy. And he rolls up his sleeve and he's like, "Oh, what's your fucking piece tattoo?" I was like, "Dude, what the fuck? Like, how small is the world? This is rad."
Please tell me you got a selfie with your face next to his arm.
Yes, I did. Duh. Come on.
I mean, you have to. Is that on Instagram?
It might have been, should be. I don't know. I'll have to look again.
I feel like that's the Joe Rogan trend that's going around. People keep getting Joe Rogan's face tattooed on them, and he posts all the photos that people send him of the tattoo they have of his face now, and it's just
Should do a
weird
painting.
shit.
We'll just do a Joe Rogan. Be like, "You don't have a painting, do you?"
That's true. You should just send one to him. Like, put this in your, or just be on a show. Honestly,
He'd probably. I bet you would do it. I bet you he'd put up one of your paintings.
oh,
I don't know.
Actually-
That guy's who knows what like the endorsement deals and stuff like go. There's
Yeah.
probably a.
I don't
it's
think
like
he gives a
with,
fuck. Other than Spotify,
I think
don't
he
think
has
he
to
gives
with
a fuck.
Spotify though. I think he
But that's the
probably
thing.
has
Like,
to.
all he has to do is post his podcast on Spotify. I don't.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I doubt that guy put any kind of restrictions on what he's allowed to talk about, what he can do.
That's
He
true.
should probably just build his own app and like everybody would come. It'd be fine.
That's a lot of work. Social media stuff, and it's a pain.
Social media.
Spotify pretty much is his app.
That's true. I mean, they
He's
paid him
like,
$100 million
"My app."
to be on there. You
Yeah.
might as well own it.
God damn, Jesus. All
If
right.
let's say he came up to you and was like, "I want a piece of work done by you. I saw your shit. Design one that's based off of my personality." Like, what do you think? What comes to mind? Like mushrooms exploding out of?
Probably
Something.
some jujitsu shit maybe in there too. Like, fuck, that's a good question. Definitely some like psychedelic colors. Probably make it glow in the dark, so like when you turn it off, it's like, "Woo."
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
Okay, good idea. Making notes of that too.
Yeah.
That's all I am. Like, I might as well just be a good idea fairy, just sprinkling nut crust on people with good ideas that just
Nut
get you in
crust?
trouble.
Oh God, that's a visual.
Yeah, wow. Where are you getting this nut crust from?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's mine. No, it goes back to.
Amanda.
You remember way back when? It's like before the internet was full viral of all these weird things. There was like E-Bombs World and stuff, and they had those
Oh
weird
man, the good old
videos.
days.
Yeah.
There
Good
was
old
one
days.
video, and it was absolutely terrible. It was the last 2 men alive. Like, there's a nuclear explosion, and there's just two guys. There's the last two people alive, and God comes over. It's like, it's on you guys to repopulate the Earth. I'm not gonna get into it because it's E-Bombs World weird graphic stuff. But at the end of it, God just sprinkles nut crust on them.
Now we know the origin of nut crust. All right. That would be a great painting too. A picture of God sprinkling nut crust and just call it nut crust.
So you can just have a
these
harder, not smarter painting idealist and just have all these things from our
There you go.
conversation.
Fantastic. And then when I become a multimillionaire, I'm going to hire you to just be the nut fairy, or not the nut fairy, the idea fairy. Ooh,
Well, that's what you call him now.
Yeah, this is how nicknames
he's
get
gotta-
started.
It's got it. Yeah, exactly. The Nut Fairy, Kevin Seif, Nut
Yeah.
Fairy.
he's like, I hate this episode. Delete.
Is that,
regret
wait,
this
is that
conversation.
is that a podcast title right there?
Oh, it could be.
I think
That-
The
so.
Nut Fairy.
There you go.
Yeah.
You
Well.
call this one the nut fairy. They'd be like, what the fuck is the nut fairy?
You have to listen to the episode to know.
Yeah.
With that, how did you come up with your distinct? Like, you have a very distinct look of, you know, the silhouetted individual with very, very pronounced colors in the background, and then just, you know, a ton of detail and nuances that, you know, typically people in the community are going to pick up. But outside of that, like with mine, people are probably like, "Oh, it's the eyes." Like, no, those are the green glow from the
Yeah.
nods. Like, where did this style come from? Is that something you saw? Is something you just naturally came up with? Because I've never seen any other artists have this technique.
I think it's evolved, definitely. Like, I've got a few pieces. Like, I have the very first painting I've ever done. It's out in the hallway. And, like, if you compare that to what's behind you, you'd be like, that's no way it's the same person. So it evolves over time. And then just listening more to the stories or like how people are responding to pieces. And I started figuring out that like when you go to a museum and you look at like a war painting, you're just like, cool, it's a bunch of dudes from this time battling it out on horses or whatever, and you're like, awesome. But you don't feel anything from it because you can't put yourself in there. But if you silhouetted it and, you know, just kind of almost generalized it, then it's like, oh fuck, dude, that could be me. I'm standing right there. I remember the wind under my plate carrier. I remember fucking lugging that goddamn ladder, son of a bitch. Or, you know, your fucking nods just bashing up against your fucking nose and you're like, what the fuck? You know, like just like these weird little bits of stories that you hear over time. And you know, I'm lucky I'm married to a former knuckle dragger, so I get like all the scoop. I'm like, tell me more. Oh yeah, that sounds terrible. So, but those details, right? Like I've had, you know, a buddy of mine shared a story about like his very, very first op, they're trying to get off the bird and he just eats shit, right? And like in my head, it looks hilarious. But like those are stories you don't hear, right? But if I could paint that, like, dude, that's a cool piece of fucking history, and it's authentic as shit. You know, it's like, ooh, tip of the spear, boop.
I remember the first time running off a 46. We had, you know, in the Marine Corps, we had the 46s coming through, the not as cool, bigger or smaller versions of the 47s, and just running off the back ramp and eating shit so hard. This was in the Marine Corps. We were coming out of the field. It was, you know, we had our pack from being out there for a week. We had the old school mono lenses.
Yeah.
So like you have zero depth perception. You're only seeing out of one eye. And we had the old school Mitch helmets, which are oversized. And it wasn't even the multi point. It was like the single point chin strap. So everything's bouncing around.
Wow.
And we're just like, all right, get off the helo. We're running. And there was one step off the bird. There was just a rut, hit it and tumble ass over tea kettle everywhere. I was just like laying there as people are running by. I'm like, fuck, this is my
Leave
life.
me. I'm tired. I love my job.
It's so much fun.
I would have just
Number one
rolled over.
gangsta.
I would have rolled over and went pee, because every single time I get off the bird, I go pee. I just like unzip, go pee. So I'd have just like rolled over and just like peed and been like, oh,
Tactical
which is
pee.
good.
tactical
Yeah.
pee. Probably just stayed there for another like
While.
5 minutes.
Hey, you have
and
to
connected sills.
I was about to say it's sills. You might as well call it spills now. Now it makes
There
sense.
we go. There we
Sit,
go.
pee. Try to remember the
There
rest
you
of
go.
it.
That is literally what it is. I mean, yeah, sit, pee, listen, smell, look, listen, look,
Look.
smell.
Look.
Look,
Yeah.
I was like, there's another L in there. Yeah. Look, listen, smell.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might as well put pee in there. Now it spills and it just works.
Did anybody help you get up, or did they just leave you
No,
there?
fuck no.
No, definitely
Absolutely not.
Probably,
And the crew chief's just looking
at.
at the crew chief's like, move so I can lift the ramp up.
Just roll over, you're like.
Yeah, it's real cool. There's zero sympathy, empathy in the military, especially when it's something like that. Like, nothing's funnier than watching your friends eat shit. You cool? Cool. Okay, now we're just gonna make fun of you.
You are forever the guy that fell over. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Until the next guy falls. Like helos are the worst, man. I ate it so many times, and you're always getting like sandblasted. Love what they can do. Getting dropped off right there. It's amazing. But yeah, it's just like injury traps constantly between fast roping, getting off
Or
of
you're
birds.
accident prone.
Ooh.
It could be that too. I'm an athletic individual. I stick by it.
I'm a fucking goddamn gazelle. Shit.
Yeah.
What's that? What movie's that from?
Hold on.
I've got to look it up. I've got to
Google
look it
that
up.
shit. Go. Next question. While he's Googling.
Yeah, I was thinking of I'm a peacock. I got to fly. That's the other guys.
That's the other
That's
guys.
a good one. Yeah. I don't remember the movie. Google faster.
Oh, this is all pulling up Zootopia. I wonder if it's Google
It might
thinks
be
it's my
Zootopia.
kid. No,
like
it's
Madagascar. It's probably you have kids. It's probably Madagascar.
We're just gonna pretend it's Madagascar.
Google,
You know.
Google it, audience. Prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have the internet. Get in there.
Yeah. So your husband, he was EOD, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just retired.
Has it been a year now? Last June.
How's it feel
Almost a
having him
year.
at home that much?
It's very nice.
I think it's either one of two ways. Either like he needs to get a job and get the hell out of the house, or it's pleasant having another human around.
It's not bad. Well, fuck, dude. If you grind out for 20 plus years, like, dude, have a vacation. Like, put on your robe, do what you need to do, build a fucking retaining wall, help me redo the house or some shit. But and two, like, don't rush into the next thing. Like, unless something jumps out at you and you're like, fuck yeah, that's the shit. I'm all about it. Don't rush into it. Like, take a minute, or try some shit out, like, and don't be scared to say no too. Like, I think a lot of guys when they're getting out, well, just from what we've seen with friends lately, there's like this insane amount of pressure to like, fuck, I gotta figure something out. It's like, but do you really, just take a minute, enjoy that time. And then if you get bored or restless, like, yeah, try something out, see what's out there, do something random, work at Home Depot, fucking 30% off home renovations. Yeah.
That's legit. I mean, you already got the 10% military discount, but 30%, that's pretty legit.
That's substantial.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And if you time it right, you could probably get the sales in on there too. So it's 30 plus the sale. You just got to do a little figuring out and be all right.
Scheming. Definitely
Well,
scheming.
All over that.
Well, that's how I did it when I first started the business. Is before I went full time, I was working at a place where I could buy all my supplies at like 30% off. Because I'm like, making minimum wage, trying to pay my rent and whatnot. And I was like, I'm going to be an artist. So, well, I didn't actually plan to be an artist. It just kind of happened because COVID was like, we're shutting everything down. I was like, who the fuck's paying my rent? Like, I got to eat. So, yeah. It's funny how that worked
long
out.
how long have you been painting?
Oof. Like professionally, for fun?
Well, surely you've been doing this a while. Like for fun,
Give us
at
the
least
timeline.
a while. Yeah. Because professionally, that's a very subjective
That
word.
requires
right?
you're a professional individual.
Yeah.
I would say I've been doing art since I could hold something, fucking crayon. And then
Kevin knows crayons.
I eat crayons.
Excellent. What's your favorite color?
Flavor or color?
Ah, good one. What's your favorite flavor?
Orange and color. Goes both
You
ways.
like orange? Really? Orange?
No, it's just an easy answer because it goes both ways. It's both a color and a flavor. I
Phil's
can't say
mom
red.
goes
It's not a
both
flavor.
ways.
Guess I can go
Sorry,
peach. Peach works.
Peach works too. Yeah, you can do peach. Yummy. Um, yeah, so probably painting, I would say maybe only like 10 years or so. So not that long. I wasn't brave enough to try paint. I was like, this looks very complicated.
Are you all self-taught?
Yeah, you want to hear a funny story? I failed almost all my art classes when I was in school.
Was that for lack of effort or just like they just didn't like your paintings?
Uh, so, because I was that asshole kid, they would be like, let's paint this. This is the drawing of the week. And I was like, cool, skulls, nails, fucking dark shit. Like, just take it way too far. And they were like, this is unacceptable. And I was like, fuck you, it's art. And they were like, no, it's not what I asked you to draw. And I was like, there's a tree. I put a tree in there. Yeah, but no.
It's a death tree now.
I just, fucking like, I'm like a little, Screamo was real big at that time when I was a kid, so I'm like this little angry goth kid, and, I'm already the weird kid because I have like this German accent, I'm white, I'm one of like 3 white kids in my school, so like just already on the spectrum of weird, and I was like, how much further can I push this way out here? So.
I figure that's also the problem with our school system. Like, I hated everything about English in school. The books we had to read, the stupid essays we had to write about the book. Like, please infer what the artist or what the author was trying to describe here in this book. I'm like, I don't know. The dude's been dead 200 years. Does anybody actually know?
And I can't understand him. Like, let's start with that.
We're reading the Iliad. I'm like, I don't know half of what's going on in this book. And that book's 3,000 years old or something. And so, yeah, the stuff they make you read and write about, I hated reading. I hated writing until actually pretty recently, in the last 5-ish years. And I started picking up reading again on my own because I can now choose my books. And my profession is developing content. Like, I write content for LinkedIn. I have a newsletter. I write my own speeches and talking engagements because it's something that it's about a topic that interests me, and their books that interest me.
Comes from here.
Yeah, it's like not some stupid thing that a washed up. I apologize. Teaching is a very difficult profession. You guys deal with assholes like Invader Girl and myself in school, especially high school is probably the worst. But the curriculum is terrible, and they push stupid stuff. And I think they should just be like, read whatever book you want. I don't care if it's a graphic novel, if it's a comic book, whatever. Just read something and then stand in front of the class and talk about it for 10 minutes. Like, that should be what English is. Just get people interested in reading and writing.
Yeah, new law.
There it is.
There we go.
That's why we do the podcast, to solve all the world's problems.
Kevin for Prez.
Did you guys hear about the guy that I think he's from Texas, and he changed his name to, he's a veteran, and he changed his name to literally anyone else, and he's running for president.
Oh, his name is literally anybody else.
Yeah, he changed his name to literally anyone, like anybody else, or literally anyone else, and is running for president. I'm gonna write him in.
That's some serious effort, because that's no cheap feat to change names and shit.
Yeah. Is he following the Kanye model, where he's coming up with an awesome political party, the birthday party?
I don't know.
That was Kanye's political party. He was the birthday party when he ran. So,
did he actually run?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He was on.
Craig's like Google.
I think he was on at least one ballot. I don't remember.
Dustin Eby, a 35-year-old U.S. Army veteran, has legally changed his name to literally anybody else to run for the White House, as he is fed up with the constant power grab between the Democrats and the Republicans. I mean, he's not. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
That's
300 million people can do better.
The story I read a while back. I think it was an Army guy, might have been a Marine, that officially got his religion to like Nordic something, so that he could have the beard and all the other stuff. It was a legit beard, and like, it's impressive.
There you go. You're gonna tell the wife you are practicing a new religion and grow out the Nordic beard.
Ooh, yeah, she will tell me to fuck right off, is what she will say.
In legal terms. In legal
terms. Yes.
In legal terms.
Yes.
So like you understand,
Yeah.
I do appreciate your wife's banter though, especially on LinkedIn when she criticizes your grammar.
all the time, all the time.
My
She's an
grandma's
attorney.
trash.
She's such an attorney. Like I love her to death, but she is just a dirty little lawyer,
And she's your lawyer.
and she's my lawyer.
But she never backs him up.
Yes. She
Aw.
no.
Well, there's a reason women do that. I don't want you to get too comfortable. I want you to know I'll fuck you up, and then when it counts, she's gonna back you up. Don't worry. It's a
Yeah.
weird
No.
psychology thing. You'll be all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I grew up with two sisters. I know all the tricks. I know all the tricks.
I mean, if she's like putting a pillow over your head in the middle of the night, you might not be okay. Would maybe recommend having a conversation
you were
at that
snoring.
point.
Yeah. I don't snore. Never been told that before. It's the first time.
That's because she's holding on to that. Don't worry. That's her ace one day. She's like, wait for it. Bam!
Yeah.
And
so with your husband, did he build? You got to talk about the man cave that he built, because we're talking with Daniel Stinson, aka Santa 6, who will have his episode will be coming up soon.
Ooh,
I
maybe
put
we
him in
should
touch
drop-
with an author, by the way, because I'm like, your story needs to get put out there. But he told me Invader Girl lives down the street from me, and
Yes.
her husband has the coolest man cave. It's basically a Team Guy ready room in their basement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up working in a bar, and he grew up, around the world too, and everybody's got a fucking team room somewhere. And so when we bought this house, we built it to kind of include that mindset of like, hey man, if you're coming through or something, like stop by, have a drink, crash, we'll feed you too, don't worry about it. And so we converted 2 rooms down in the basement and just turned it into this massive like bar thing. We're currently trying to figure out if we can fit a pinball and like a skee ball machine in there too.
Awesome.
yes.
Which
if you guys
pinball
are
machine would you get? Do you have one?
so he's a big fan of the James Bonds, and I'm like, that's respectable, so I might get a James Bond one. We'll see. I don't know. There's so many to choose from. Like, you ever gone in and be like, how am I supposed to only pick one? Fuck. Like,
Where do you go? Where does one go
Is there
to
a
buy a
pinball
pinball
store?
machine? Is there a pinball machine store?
so we randomly found a place over in
Of course you did.
Purcellville. It's like an
Yeah.
arcade setup, but the guy actually does sell his machines, and I was like, how many can I put in the back of the truck?
Yeah.
How much does
But
one run?
they're like almost $7,000. Like, they're not
God.
cheap. Yeah.
That is steep.
I was like, thank God I don't have kids, because I can, just spend it on pinball machines and booze and shit. No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
if you have kids, just leave the quarter machine operating so that they have to put quarters in. You're like, you guys are gonna pay for this.
Well, they can get jobs, right? They become efficient and reliant. They understand work versus reward. So a lot of benefits in that.
Oh, they'll
That's high
find
hopes.
some way to cheat that system is what they'll do. They'll find a way to
If
rig
you're
the
not-
machine.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Hey, I'm for it. I'm for it.
That's true.
I said that to a guy once at the bar, and he like damn near lost his mind. He's like, "I love you." I was like, "More shots?" He's like, "Yes."
Good. Leave me a good tip.
Yeah.
Nah. It's not about tips, about having a good time. More whiskey. Yeah, no. But so, yeah, like that ready room. Like, if you guys are ever around through town, or if friends and people are coming through, it's like doors open. Like, come on by, make yourself at home. Like, everybody needs a place, right?
It's a great way to live, especially after you spend so much time in the military. Just keep giving back to those that are either out on their own now or still wearing the uniform and putting in the work. When they have a minute, just come on by, give us some good stories.
Yeah. Well, a good place too. Like when I was working the bar, like we had a lot of guys that they're away from family. It's not like it was cheap to fly home for the weekend on holidays. So it was like, hey man, I'm gonna open this bitch up. You guys are all welcome to come hang out. And it's like, it was nice. It's like I might not be where I want to be, but somebody's here, and I can at least just hang out or open the bar early because somebody's having a shit day, or they got kicked out of the airport lounge and needed somewhere to wait for their flight.
That sounds
I feel like
oddly
that was you.
specific.
There's a very specific story behind that.
So I got a call on a Sunday. The team was supposed to be flying out, and they were in the lounge, apparently causing a ruckus, and
As
the
they do.
airport asked them to leave, but they still had like 4 or 5 hours because the flight just kept getting delayed. So I got a call. Mind you, I'm hungover from Saturday, like just fucking, They're like, hey, I know you guys are closed. Any way you could open the bar? And I was like, when? And he's like, now. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, 20 minutes. I need to find pants. I'll be right there.
I need to find
Fucking
pants.
get dressed, look like a bag of ass. Haven't even had coffee at this point. Bomb down to the bar, flip the lights on. It's still a fucking absolute disaster from the weekend, right? So I'm like, speed cleaning, got coffee going. I'm just like, fuck, stock some shit. And here comes the entire team with all their gear. So I've got like gun cases and shit all packed up on the side, like bags, and just like, oh god, it was probably like 40 fucking people. And I was like,
Oh my
holy
God.
shit.
It was a full troop.
Yeah. I was like, give me a minute. Somebody order pizza. Like, I'll throw cash in. Like, just help me get this going. And the flight kept getting delayed. So I think it was like 10 o'clock before they actually left to go get
I'm
on
assuming
the
this is
flight.
Guam.
Uh-huh. You ever been out there?
I've been to Saipan. Never been to Guam.
Ah, same shit, just smaller.
Yeah, it's almost literally a stone's throw away.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
No. You could probably swim there if you had to.
Yeah, the water's warm. We did some diving off Saipan. It's great.
Beautiful.
80-degree water year round. Saipan literally has the Guinness Book of World Records for most consistent weather year round. It's like 81-degree air, 80-degree water year round. It never changes.
Greg's like, I've never heard of this place. Tell me more.
Yeah, 81 degree that every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
That's
It's
perfect.
like 350 days a year or something like that. It's 81 degrees.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's
Literally
Guam,
perfect.
Saipan, and Tinian. Tinian's a weird one.
Yeah.
Like in this sweet spot of just like perfect weather, except when the fucking typhoons come, it's just like
Sure.
Which wrecks shop.
You're just like, oh man, we're getting ass fucked. Holy shit. We can't go anywhere. Dang.
Yeah, you are stuck. Tinian's weird though, because Tinian's where the atomic bomb took off from. And at the end of World War II, it was the busiest airport in the world. Like every sortie going out against Japan was basically taken off from Tinian, and now it's just
it's like that little chain.
Yeah, now it's just a vacant island.
So they tell us.
Trying to figure out what figure it is.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah. But yeah, Guam or Saipan and Tinian, they're, I don't know, a mile or two apart. Super close. It's weird.
About like, was it Roto? I think Tinian you can see from Guam on like a clear day. You can kind of see a little bloop, and you're like, oh, there's a rock out there.
Yeah, it's a weird. I mean, that whole island chain between Hawaii and the Marshalls and the Guam Islands, it's just like a spattering of islands all the way up and around.
Well, and still littered with like World War II history. Like we had some, so like if you're doing any kind of excavation or whatnot, you kind of have to grade back because we still find ammunitions, or massive bombs. And one of the contractors that was out there doing some work, he used to be an EOD guy, and he actually dug up a World War II helmet, and for the most part, it was still like pretty intact, other than the fact that he dinged it with the digger. But he brought it in and was like, "Look, for you." And I was like, "Oh, buying all your drinks tonight, buddy. What do you want? Like,
That
go
is
ham."
cool.
It's a piece of fucking history, right? Like, who wore this? How did it get here? Why was it left behind? Like or like you find like little medicine vials or like little bits of ammo, buckles. Never found a skull. Maybe one day. I'm sure there's one somewhere.
Well, wasn't it until the last Japanese holdout, wasn't it some dude like in the 70s that finally turned himself in? It was late 60s, early 70s.
Living
he was
in
just
a
hanging out on Guam,
fucking cave,
refusing to believe that the Japanese Empire surrendered.
That's right. Yeah. I've heard about that.
It was like 25 years. He was just hanging out.
There's rumors that there was actually a couple of guys, and they were spread out over the island and would stay separated so not to get found, and then link up at a cave for staff meetings and shit. Supposedly, I've heard that story too, but
I wouldn't be surprised
yet.
Yeah,
it's fucking rad.
Those guys were insane, just living off the land, randomly attacking people from time to time. Like the farmers knew that they were out there. They're like, we don't know where they are because there's just cave pockets all over. These assholes keep coming down and attacking us and stealing our food.
Like yay tall, he's really angry. I don't know what's going on. Doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Might be
I think
one
the
of the
last
Japanese.
one was the early 70s. Who brought back a hero. But can you imagine just hanging out on an island by yourself for 25 years? It was like
and I don't know if
Japanese
you can
Robinson
visit it
Crusoe
anymore,
stuff.
but there used to be like the hole that he would hide in, and it's like, tiny. You gotta like shimmy down in there, and you're just like, you just hung out in here. That's it. Like that's fucking rad, crazy, all of it at the same time.
Man, what do you
Greg's face right
like?
now.
I'm just trying to conceptualize like what kind of state of mind that person is in after those 25 years. Like, cause you are in solitude. There's unless they were meeting with like individually for those staff meetings, which would
help.
I mean, maybe at the beginning
I'm
they
hopeful
had
that was the case. Yeah.
But by the end, he was the last one. So there was at least several years where he was completely by himself, just holding out for the Emperor God.
You're like an animal at that point.
You'd have to be. You'd be feral as fuck at that point.
Yeah.
Why not?
You'd basically
you're in
be
survival
Banks.
mode at that point.
Equivalent to Banks.
Exactly. Yes. My son.
Banks
Yes.
is his son.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Feral.
He runs around naked. He's feral, and
No
he's got
rules.
animal instinct. No rules.
He loves
anarchy.
happy slaps.
I feel
Yes.
so sorry for the girl that falls in love with him. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, she's in for it. She's in for it. That's for sure.
You'll be like, good luck, sweetheart. Have fun.
Yes. Yeah. She's in for a ride. That's for sure. He'll take good care of her though, because he takes good care of himself. So.
Clothes are just restricting of movement.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
true.
He's
When you work at a
literally
bar, I'm sure you've seen plenty.
Oh
There's
man,
a story with that one apparently.
So we had a bunch of people in town, and they would sometimes decide theme nights. So you knew it was a theme night when everybody came in Speedos, and I mean everybody. So we'd have dudes on the bars. They would steal the mic from the band, just singing at the top of their lungs in Speedos. It's a great view. Or they would 50 dudes just piled onto the little stage with the band, and like somebody would pick up the singer and just start bouncing him around, all in Speedos. It's fantastic. There's pictures somewhere, like on a hard drive in a corner. If it still works.
That's fantastic.
I've seen it all. Or we did a credit in plastic paper was a theme night one night, so some people came dressed as credit cards and nothing else.
Picturing how this works.
Yeah, go ahead, let your imagination run wild. Or red dress night, so hashing. I don't know if you guys know what hashing is. It's like running a trail, lots of drinking, and then they would come to the bar. But they would all be wearing red dresses, so you'd go running in a red dress. Some people would go over the top with it, which was fantastic. But now my bar is full of dudes in red dresses, and the shit is hilarious. Because people walk by and they're like, what the fuck is going on in there? Like, can't figure it out. Like dresses are falling off. You've got like half a boob out, an ass cheek, broken heel, and you're like, what the fuck? It's a good time.
Some Republican's head is like literally like popping off at that point.
Yeah, it's an event.
And when did you leave Guam?
Ooh, shit. 2018, I think, or so. I needed a change of scenery, so that island's like barely 30 miles long. It's like 11 miles wide at the thickest point. After a while, it was just like, it was getting to be just too much, and I needed a really, really hard change, so I packed up my bags, burned the bridge, there was no going back, and showed up to Virginia randomly. I had some friends out here, so it was like, who's got a fucking room? And they were like, I do. And I was like, cool. How much do you want? I need a place. And so started from scratch, started working, and then COVID kicked off, and I was like, oh, I guess I need to find another job or something.
Man, better than being on Guam for COVID. That would have been horrible.
Dude, the stories coming out of there. Ugh. I was like, I would have probably went postal out there. Like, you couldn't even exist. Like, it was so bad. They were like, oh, like,
don't
you're
leave your house.
outside. Yeah, like you couldn't even go walk on the fucking beach. They were like calling the cops on you and shit. And I was like, really? Really? This is where we're gonna spend our efforts and resources? Because I'm gonna get some fresh air. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, my wife Kristen lived on Hawaii when I met her, and so she shot a
Oh,
bunch of friends out there over COVID, and they were saying it was ridiculous. You couldn't walk
horrible.
in groups of more than four, and
What if you
it
got a
was
family of 6?
it, there were families of 5 getting ticketed because they were walking together.
So little
Um,
Timmy, leave Timmy behind. We
yeah,
don't need him.
just leave them. Yeah, the beaches were open, but a lot of the parks and parking lots that you needed to cross to get to the beach weren't open, and they would ticket you for crossing them. Our friend was going surfing, and they ticketed her as she was running from her car to the beach with a surfboard in hand.
You gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, I mean, California straight up closed the beaches. We could not go to the beach.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
there, and then when they started opening them up, that it was like you can go to the beach, but you can't sit and hang out. You have to be doing an activity. And there was a mom standing on the beach watching her 10-year-old son go surfing,
Yeah.
and the lifeguard. I mean, he's a teenager anyway. He's like just doing what he's told, but he's like, "Ma'am, you can't just stand here." She's like, "Well, I'm watching my son. I'm not going to leave." He's like, "You need to do an activity." So she paced back and forth, like in a little square, watching him, so that she was doing something. And then there was a guy up in Huntington Beach that was paddleboarding when the beaches were still closed. He was paddleboarding off the Santa Monica Pier or Huntington Beach Pier, I
Yeah.
forget which one. And there's this drone footage of 2 or 3 sheriff boats cornering him, trying to get him because it was illegal. He was out there
He's
paddleboarding
got
by
cooties.
himself.
Careful.
It got stupid here in California, like really, really stupid.
So I went to visit my stepmom. She lives out there, and like it was so bad at that point. Like nobody knew what to fucking do, right? So we've all seen the crazies where we're like, calm down. But like in California, you've got like people with chin strap down here, up here, smoking a fucking doobie. And I'm like, and everybody's packed in. I was like, that just doesn't really know why we have the fucking rules if you're not even gonna fucking like do them. Like, come on, man.
It just feels good to say there's rules.
Little Timmy doesn't give a fuck about rules. He's feral.
I love it. So what pieces of work are you most excited about right now?
Let's see. I got a bunch of boats that I'm gonna do. A couple more operator pieces. I have one that I can't actually talk about yet, but it's for an event later this year. So super stoked about that one. It's kind of a special one, so it'll be out later this year. Yeah. So they host an event every year, and they pick a Gold Star family, and just kind of like do like a whole ceremony, and they do this. They do like a whole thing to go with it. I'm gonna shut up before I talk too much.
I'm pulling that thread.
Yeah, don't do that. Sure. Next question.
I'm gullible.
Question. Yeah, God, fuck.
What's been your favorite painting so far? You're like, man, this one nailed it. I mean, that spaceman behind you is pretty.
That spaceman's pretty sweet.
I mean, he looks like he's kind of glowing, like a little bit. I don't know. It's
glowing and about to Sparta kick some Martian in the face.
Yeah.
Fucking say so. Bam. I don't know. It's kind of hard to decide which one's a favorite. Like, so many of them are favorites because it's like capturing bits of fucking history. So it's like, to me, they're all super fucking important. They all tell a story about our, time right now. And it's like, hey man, these are the shit, things we experienced, and this is what we did and saw. Take this, do more, do better. Like, this is the building block we gave you. Fucking do rad shit. Stop being gay.
Are there any pieces that you have done that are just like, I'm not giving this one up, like this one's staying here?
So there's some that I don't post or share, just because they're kind of touchy subjects or would be hard to explain if you didn't understand like why that needed to be painted. So they're like, I'll show them if I know you and you're at the house, then it's like, we'll have a conversation. But there are some that just live on a blacklist that the world won't know about.
Do you just have a big storage room full of different paintings you've done? You're like, I don't know if I should sell this one.
So, yeah,
But
I
obviously
mean,
it's meaningful to you.
if you do like 3 pieces a day times, how many days in a year, it gets full pretty quick. So that's why, we try to donate as much as we can. We try to, I don't know, we just try to get the art where it needs to go. Like, I think pieces find their person. It's always really interesting to see who connects with what piece. Like, I had a piece that sat for a while and it was called Get Up Princess. And this couple ended up buying it, and it turns out that it was their quote to each other. She was an ER nurse, he was an operator, and both living fucking hard lives. And that was like their thing. If they were like, oh man, I don't feel like it today, it's like, fucking get up, bitch. Like, let's go. So they bought that piece as like their little reminder. And it's just kind of cool to see where they go and why they go there, or what it means to somebody, or the car painting that I did. Some guys pulled some money together and gave it to their buddy because he's actually getting stationed over here on the East Coast, and they were like, he needs to have that. And so it's just kind of neat, You get to hear all these really cool stories about people and all the shit they've done.
And you obviously do the majority of them on canvas. Have you done it on an actual wall? Like a company brought you in to literally paint
Not
their
yet.
whole wall?
Not yet. So I don't even know if I could do anything that big yet. And then too, like if you were ever gonna vacate the building or it got destroyed, like you can't take it with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you're like cool like Banksy where they cut out walls and they're like, look, we have a Banksy. I don't know if I'm that cool yet, so we'll see. Maybe next year.
Within the right circles, you're definitely known.
I mean, I know some people who can do demos, so we could just like shape charge it, blow it out, take it.
There was this I think Banksy showed up, I forget where it was, but he did some painting recently, and some guy on Instagram, he's like, cool, I live in that building, my rent just tripled, so thanks, Banksy. Yeah,
no,
I never really thought about that, but it's probably true. It's probably 100% true that happens.
Oh yeah. Or somebody's over there like trying to chisel it out, like, I got a Banksy,
Yeah.
oh my god. You're like, you realize it's fucking paint on a wall, right? But fuck it, whatever. The man does some wild shit, so it's like it's cool to see that he can generate a conversation with a fucking spray painted rat, and you're just like, really, fucking rad, man.
Little girl in ponytails, jiu-jitsuing a guy.
Well, I got 2 2s and Grim Reaper Shadow, so watch out, Banksy, I'm coming for you.
Hell yeah!
I like that 2/2 of the Grim Reaper behind it. I think that's going to be
really
a cool one.
That should go in your when you build out your bar. That's going to go right behind you.
I mean, yeah.
Nobody will know that story other than us. They'll be like, "What the fuck's with the 2/2 and the Grim Reaper?" I'll be like, "Shh." Just give him a crown. Here you go. Yeah. Give him Blueberry.
What have you learned about now that you're you're in the art world now? I mean, you're a professional artist. What have you? Are you like intertwined in that world? Like, do you keep like pretty separate from it? Like, what have you? What is like? The art world just seems so weird and so foreign.
It is super weird and foreign, right? Like,
yeah.
Try doing some research on it. Shit doesn't make any sense. I'm like, what? So, I guess we've just kind of carved out our own path on the backside. We're just like digging our own back channel. Like, yeah, we'll just go this way. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. Have you met artists? They're really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Can I say that? I don't know. I don't mesh well with it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you hang out with team guys and the sort, so those two communities are polar opposite. Wildly different. Yes, no, that's true. I guess maybe why I did one art show and it left a really bad taste in my mouth where I was like, ugh, hot Jaeger is way better than this. Yeah. I have a great story about that. Hot Jaeger? What about Jaeger and milk? Jaeger and milk's actually really good. What do they call it in Germany? One of those. Well, I had it doing après ski. I went skiing in Austria once, and I have a great picture on my phone someplace of a table, and it was covered in those mini Jaeger bottles, and you get a glass of milk. What I mean, you speak German. What is the name? They call it like flying cow or something.
Fliegen Kuh?
Maybe something like that. But yeah, like for some reason, at least during this year that we were at in Austria, first off, Austrians do après ski like no one I've ever met before in my life. Après ski, for those of you that aren't skiing, it literally means after ski in French. And the party that happens on slopes in Europe at the end of the day is insane. So at St. Anton, there was 3 bars on the slope. It was like halfway down the main run that comes up and down. It was like halfway down, and then 2/3 of the way down, and then there was a third one at the bottom. And so everyone starts at the top one, at 4 o'clock as the sun's basically setting, starts drinking. There's crazy music. It's like a Euro trash techno party going on. People are getting trashed there. They put on their skis and like stumble down to the next bar, which had this ridiculous tree that was completely covered in lights, and people are getting completely housed here to the point where they can't even get their skis on. They're like sitting on their skis and sliding down the hill to the last bar, and then they party to like 7, let's say, and then they pass out and get up again the next day to go skiing because they don't stay up late. They want to go skiing, so they're all done by like 7, 8 o'clock. But they're starting at 3, so they're
just
going hard.
Break you back.
Yeah.
Efficient,
for some reason,
very efficient.
For some reason, milk
like, I don't miss that shit.
And Jaeger was a drink of choice, and they were everywhere.
Oh,
but
gross.
To get to the warm drink in Korea, I was on a expat rugby league, and most of the expats out there were of Commonwealth countries, UK, South Africa, Canada, Australia, and they love drinking and they love darts and bars. And so we play darts all the time, and the loser, we would usually do team cricket. So there's 8 people playing. The losing pair would have to buy the next round of shots. And we were healthily in 3rd place. We were not losing by any means. Like there's one team that was just getting smoked, and then the team in first decided to point the fuck out of us and drop us into last place at the very end and close us out. So I was super bitter. And we knew the owner of the bar. He was a Canadian dude.
You were holding a grudge? What?
Slightly grudge. And I'm like, dude, do you have a microwave? He's like, yeah. Can I get 8 shots of gin microwaved? It was the worst thing. And it escalated from there. People started ordering
everything microwaved.
Like everything microwaved. And it finally stopped when an Australian guy, Zeke, decided to order 151 shots microwaved. We're like, all right, this has gone too far. The game is over. The game is over.
Yep. I've done that. We had a group of guys come in, and the whole microwaving shots was quite the fad. And it started with like shitty well tequila, so like not even Jose Cuervo. It was like off-brand, microwaved, and like we're on Guam, shit's already hot, And then you put like the lemon, just bleh. Good shit. And then you got to clean it up because somebody fucking hurled chunks, and you're like, really, princess? You couldn't put that in the toilet? Fuck. Okay. Let me pick your pants up, put them back on. Jesus Christ, where's your fucking friends? Here, you take him.
So the art world is the equivalent of microwave gin. Noted.
As far as I know, like it's a strange place. It's super closed looped, as far as I can tell. And fuck it, man, you guys can keep that shit. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Like, art just happens to be the medium that works for me, and the whole idea is trying to like capture everything of like what we've experienced, what we've learned from this time. So it's like we can leave that fucking behind, so that generations that come after us can look at that or learn from it or know some of the fucking stories. Because I don't imagine every piece will survive. Hopefully some do. To just kind of further that story, because I grew up under it. It shaped who and how and everything that I do now. And it's like, man, if more people knew that, like, show up 15 minutes early, bring some extra fucking gear, like, ask fucking questions, shut your fucking mouth, stop being a fucking victim. I mean, all the things that, we're just kind of watching unfold right now where it's like, dude, we got 10-year-olds that don't even know what gender they are. They don't even know if they're human. Like, how the fuck did we get to this point? Like, what are we even talking about? We live in like the greatest advantage. Like, I have hot water in my house. I can order food to my house. Like, what are you bitching about? This is fantastic. We should be going further. Like, and you are having a mental crisis.
It's a great way to sum it up.
Like, do you even really know what a mental crisis is? Like, you're a teenager, you're going through hormonal shit, you're just poopy, you haven't gotten a pee-pee touch. Like, get over it. Like, you'll be fine. It's coming.
You're just poopy, you haven't gotten your pee-pee touch.
I'm just saying. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, if there was a backup to naming of the episode.
Yeah, you're just poo-poo. You want to get your pee-pee touched.
Nailed it.
Yeah. And then Kevin's nut sprinkle, or Kevin's fairy.
Nut
what
crust.
Is it? Kevin's nut crust. Yeah. Kevin's nut crust.
Oh my god. Oh, this show's out of control now. We're in the weeds, guys. Hang on. Invader Girl's ruined. The other two we don't know.
We lost them a while ago.
Yeah, we're just in circles. La la la.
She's like, that's why I finished my beer. I mean, you know the episode's done right when the beer is finished.
Hell yeah! Oh shit! I still got a little bit. We're good.
Yeah, okay. we've done right then.
Nailed it.
I'm trying to think if there's one more piece of art I'd like to see recommended before we sign off.
What do you want to see?
I mean, have you done any surfing stuff?
Mm-hmm. I have. Those all disappear really quick, so that might be why you haven't seen them.
I can imagine. I might just have to. If there's a time of the year to get a piece commissioned, is there one, or are you just like it's on hold now because the name's out there?
I would go early year or end of the year. That's usually when it's kind of quiet time, because end of the year is, family holidays and travel. Like, people are trying to spread, the love everywhere, which is nice because then I feel like I get a little bit of a break and can go on holiday too. And then early year, we're just all kind of recovering from the year, just like, oh, fuck. So those are like the quiet times right now. But like, for the start of this year, last month was pretty wild with commissions, and they were all like massive ones. And I was like, that's new.
Everyone's going big.
Hold on. Yeah, fuck, wait. Yeah. Like, I bought the house so I could have a bigger studio, and I'm already sitting here like, can I take out the other guest bedroom? I can't.
So you've already combined rooms in the basement to create the man cave, and now you're just cutting rooms to make room for more art.
These
are not good real estate moves. These are not good real estate moves. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but who cares?
Oh, it's the truth. I mean, I put in a suite floor, lots of windows, but I did take out 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
You took out a bathroom?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. No, so my studio is what would have been the Jack and Jill. So I took that out. I was like, whoop, gone. My contractor was like, are you sure this is a really bad idea? And I was like, I know. I know. So,
well, they can always be put back in.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Just have less kids. You'll be all right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll take the next guest room. Don't worry.
Hey, just add on.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's brilliant.
That's an idea.
I mean, at this point, you've basically built a Bansky house, so you can just say, "This is the house. This is the Invader Girl house." So
it's got secret doors and everything. It's fun.
Oh, it's like the Winchester Mystery House.
There we go.
Oh yeah, we're trying to find other ways to put more mystery shit in, because I'm like, I just want to fuck with people where they're like,
oh, you're straight up turning it into the Winchester Mystery House.
My husband's not dead yet. Don't worry.
We don't need to have hammers constantly going.
Yeah, when he dies, then I'm gonna go like full tilt crazy and be like, fuck it, I'm the artist, woo! Just psycho shit. Wear like a black Victorian dress all the time for no reason. It's hot. Don't care.
You need to start hiding like bones in the wall. So that way, if anybody gets there, be like, "What in the fuck happened here?"
Have you seen people that have done that? Like they put in an island in the kitchen, and before they close, like put the stone on top, the
They're
countertop.
sticking like skeletons and shit.
They'll put a fake skeleton in there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like imagine, like you're not prepared to see that, right? So like when you go to lift that off, somebody's dying of a heart attack. I don't care who you are.
See, this is why it's such a great time to be alive, because you can hide bones and fuck with
Fake
people.
bones.
Fake bones, or
I mean,
real
you can
bones.
get-
I don't know.
You can have.
Right.
You can probably
Try
get
to,
some real
like-
bones.
Yeah, well, I mean, not human bones, but you get something that like
Cow bones.
somebody cow bones, something that somebody would look at and be like, okay, I should probably call the authorities. You know.
Get a horse because that's huge, and people are going to be really curious as to why the fuck there's a horse in the middle of your island. They'll be like, Dip it all in resin, to kind of encase it, to keep ants and shit away. I've thought about this.
Clearly.
Little blood sprinkle with red paint, just to fuck with people,
I feel like you mess with your husband.
Hate.
Like
We totally. So we play. We have this game. We play Navy SEAL in the house. So we have Nerf guns hidden throughout the house, and if you can find the other person's Nerf gun, you're allowed to steal some of their fucking ammo, which is awesome. Because you make it look like you got a few rounds, and then they come around the corner, and you're like, haha, you've only got 2 rounds.
how to remain young in your marriage.
Yeah, dude, Nerf guns, highly recommended. And I've heard Nerf gun has come out with some like amazing pieces of equipment. So, not just for kids. See, he knows. Greg knows what's up. He's like, it's out of control.
Yeah, you go to Target and go down the Nerf aisle. I mean, it's like they've got long guns, they've got machine guns, like anything you can think of, they got it, man. It's pretty.
I kind of want a machine gun. Build it up in the attic.
Going back to this is a great time to be alive. What problems do you possibly have? You can get Nerf guns to settle any mental illness you have.
I mean that, or I miss the days where people could go out back behind the bar and settle a dispute, and then come back in, buy each other a beer, and everybody
Security
was
cameras
fine.
ruined that.
iPhones ruined it.
Also,
Actually, watch.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So when
true.
I started, there were no cameras, and as soon as those fucking iPhones came out, everybody was like, "Don't make eye contact. Keep hands to self. 1 beer, thank you. Oh god, don't breathe. Oh, she saw me."
You know what's the worst thing about iPhones too now is like you'll see like some like someone just getting like the shit beat out of them, and then like everybody's first instinct is like not to go and help out this person; it's to whip out their phone and videotape
Get that
them.
viral video footage.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
that shit,
that
dude.
like blows my mind. Like you see like all these fights on like the
And
in
nobody's
the subway
jumping
system.
in.
Yeah, nobody. They're just like there's like 10 people on their phones. It's unbelievable.
I'm helping. Look, I'm being protective.
Yeah, exactly. This will
I'll
be
help you
this
with
will
the
be
civil
helpful in
case that you
court.
get after you have to reconstruct your face.
Yeah. as they continue to just curb stomp you some more. Oh, is that your tooth? Let me grab that real quick. Here you go. It's a great time to be alive. It's what you make of it, right?
I agree.
It's 100% what we make of it.
I mean, you're gonna have a bad day or two. Like that's the reality, and have something in place for that bullshit. But dude, what are you making of it? Are you alive? That's awesome. Step 1, you're breathing. Step 2, find pants. Step 3,
Debatable.
do hood rat shit with your friends. No pants.
Yeah.
All right, Greg's a no pants party.
No pants guy. No pants guy.
I mean,
We're just gonna do
he's
this
on
That's why
with our
children
friends.
are feral.
Yes. This. And now I never said the apple didn't fall far from the tree. So there's that.
We've learned very much about you today, Greg.
Yeah. Yeah.
there's been stories. There's been information told. I actually saw
How is-
a great video of a guy that is a stand-up comedian. He's like, I don't look like I have he's like a Cheech and Chong looking guy. He's like, I don't look like I have answers, but I'm a guy that looks like he has information. There's a distinct difference.
I like that. Still that.
I mean,
That
it's
is
his
good.
comedy, so I don't remember his name. I just saw it. That's why I can't have Instagram and stuff, because these things, I death scroll.
We know what you do.
Yeah. Well, that's why I get rid of
Yeah.
it on my phone.
It's good. It's brilliant. I like that.
You do what you
I
have to
don't.
do. No.
I
I'm
don't
on
own
there.
a TV.
That's cool. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a game changer because if you do want to watch a movie, we only watch it on the laptop, so it like forces you to be like, I really want to do this. But other than that, it's bonfires, poker nights, pool, books, just fucking talking to your spouse. You know how much time you lose just staring at a fucking screen?
Lots. My phone
Yeah.
reminds me constantly with my weekly screen time.
Burn the TVs. I'm just saying. Well, you have kids, maybe not. I mean, you could burn the TVs. It'd be fine.
Yeah, just don't give them a taste. You give them a taste, and it's gonna be hard to take away.
Well, the
Give them
problem
a
is
spoon.
is that my cousin's good friend, she grew up on a Christmas tree farm in bumfuck nowhere, Washington.
Hell yeah.
Had no TV. It was like homestead farm type thing. And
Yeah.
now anytime a TV is on, she's just like her mind doesn't know how to compute
Dude,
that level of stimulation, and immediately
it's insane.
just locked in like a moth
if you
to a
don't-
flame.
Dude, if you don't own a TV for a while, like we haven't had one for 2 years now. If we go out and there's a TV, dude, this shit is like crack cocaine. We're like, we don't even like sports, and we're like,
Oh, I'm the same way. They're on TV. I'm at a bar, and if it's like up and to the left of the person I'm talking to, it is just constantly. I don't know what team's playing right now, and I'm watching this whatever sport's on.
squirrel.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you. I honestly probably should just get rid of my TV because every time I finish, I'm like, that story was cool, but I feel like I just wasted a ton of time.
I support this. No TV movement.
Burn the TVs.
Have you guys watched? Oh man, what is it called? It's something. The Gentleman, something on Netflix. It's Have you guys seen Snatch or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Yep. Yeah.
Who's the director of that? Is it Guy Ritchie?
I'm not the person to ask. I'm the worst.
Well, anyways, there's a
Maybe.
I think it's Guy Ritchie, but
Maybe.
he's got a new show on Netflix and it's phenomenal. It's really good. It's
He's
like
trying to
He's
lure
throwing-
me back into keeping the TV before I burn
throwing
it.
the drugs at us.
just before you, yes.
Just
there's lots of
before you
drugs in it.
kick your heroin addict or your addiction, just try this new variant of heroin. It'll change your perspective on heroin.
It'll change everything. Yeah.
No. We're saying
Give it-
no to TV.
I mean, this
Just
is
a
also
little
from the
taste.
guy that's been watching Love is Blind religiously.
Yeah. Guys,
I
it
didn't
was a
mean to ruin
great
that last
season.
bit.
It was a great season. There was a lot of juice. I don't know. It was that good. It was that good. I had a comment on TikTok go
Okay.
for
Tell me more.
I have 0 followers on TikTok. I might have 5. I have 5 followers on TikTok. Haven't like published anything. I think my name is like user 987654321. And I put a comment on there and I have 65,000 likes.
Oh, it's up to
on that comment.
65,000 now?
It's up to 65,000 likes.
What did you write? Holy shit.
I'm not going to put it on here.
Oh.
It's nothing terrible. It was an
'Cause my
observation.
F-bombs are totally fine.
It was an observation about the show. It was an observation. And it was apparently very astute. And that's why it got 65,000 likes. So
He's famous.
Wow.
You talk,
yeah,
Invader Girl, you're talking to someone famous right now.
I am.
I
yes,
know.
I'm TikTok
Can I get
famous.
an autograph? Like,
I will. You know what?
can you
For you?
print out the quote and then sign it so I can frame it?
Yeah. Well,
That'd
you
be
know what? I'll
cool.
do you one better. I'm going to take a snapshot of the. Yeah. Then I'll sign it. We could do like an art exchange. You could send me something of a piece of your work, and then I could send you
equivalent.
that. You know, it's
She's
equivalent.
like, I'm going to spill paint on a napkin and mail it to you.
No, come on.
She'll pull up Picasso. By the end, that dude was like drawing a quick painting or drawing on a napkin and giving that to the waiter as payment. He was just that
Yeah.
audacious. He's like, here's
He's
payment
like,
for
"I'm
my
that
food.
good."
So apparently there's like hundreds of these napkin drawings floating around because he was just paying for shit with random drawings that he would do on a bar napkin. He's like, I'm famous,
Dude.
bitch. Here's a napkin.
If I get that famous where I can doodle on napkins, I'll call you and be like, guess what? There's napkins out there. Go get them. It's worth money. But yes, you print that out and I'll send you some. That'll be fun.
Deal.
She's just
totally
not going
gonna
to
be a
say what it
napkin.
is that she's going to send you.
Yeah.
It's going to be a napkin. He'll be like, son of a bitch.
Damn it. She told me
But
she
you
was
would
going
have
to do that.
you have the only napkin.
That's true.
That
I
is
can just
true.
see her like full fist crayon writing her name, and that's what you get.
With the left hand.
I would take it. I would take it.
And then hang it up behind you when you do calls, people will be like,
Right there.
what is that?
It's an Invader Girl original.
Yeah. Yeah. Only Invader Girl on a napkin that you'll ever find.
Exactly.
Right here.
Just saying, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go find a
here for it.
napkin.
Yes.
And with
Yes.
that, for people listening, if you just want to run down places they can find your stuff, if your commission request opens back up again, where can they send requests to?
You can find me on invadergirlart.com. There is a section there for commissions, so you can just fill out that form. It'll get sent to me. If I happen to be open or have spot for it, I'll let you know. If not, I'm super sorry. Or Instagram.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Instagram is just Invader Girl, little purple skull, you can't miss it. Yeah, shoot me a message. We try to get to everybody as quick as possible. So please be patient.
We love it.
Other than that,
This was super fun. Like, I knew this was gonna be a fun conversation just by the couple lines of messages we've had going back and forth. But this has been game changer. I really enjoyed getting a chance to talk to you and get to know you.
well, you asked nicely, so I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it.
There you go. The power of asking nicely.
It gets you really far, you know?
Well, awesome.
This was definitely one of my favorites. First time we've had a beer drink on the show. So
I might have to turn it into something.
I guess we owe you a case of beer for that because it's the first time we've seen that, right?
Ooh,
That's the way that works.
That is how it works.
I'll send
First
you
time
the
you fast
napkin.
up, case of beer.
There we go.
Faster up a case of beer outside my house, I'd be like, fuck yeah. Freak out all my neighbors. They'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Cool.
If you know anybody with a helicopter.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being on here. We'll get this going live as quickly as we can. We'll send you any shorts and stuff like that to put on your social media. But
Cool.
This was phenomenal. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem, guys. Cheers. Bye.